Welcome to my new obsession. And also hi, welcome to my very first official video on my Gavin Reads All the Manga channel. I have been re-uploading a lot of videos that I uploaded on my books channel, Gavin Reads It All. And while that's been fun, because I haven't really had to do anything, I am so excited to finally get back to reading one of my biggest loves of all time, manga in general, but also Witch Hat Atelier, because I have read volume 1 before, so this was a reread, but it was the only volume I ever read like 2 years ago for Witch Hat Atelier, so everything else will be completely fresh and new to me. But to be fair, after reading this again, lots of things I forgot. Oh my god, lots of things. However, I will also be splitting my Witch Hat Atelier videos into arcs, so this is how it's going to work. I do have a list of arcs that I think are fan-made names because, well, the anime hasn't started yet, which I'm so excited for. Oh my god. And so I believe all these arc names are just fan-made, but I will be following this because I like splitting things into arcs. It's how I function. It's how I'm able to organize things. So I am going to be trying to do these videos arc by arc, and in this video I will be doing the introduction arc, which is apparently only the first 2 chapters of Witch Hat Atelier. Maybe the arcs will change when the anime comes out, but at the minute I'm just following that list. So I will leave a link to the list down in the description box if you want to check it out. I believe it's the Witch Hat Atelier wiki. But yeah, let's talk about the introduction arc. Firstly, I want to say Kamome Shirahama does a fantastic, amazing, beautiful job at illustrating this series. Firstly, the fact that magic is pretty much drawn, and so magic comes from the art of like precision and the beauty of creating artwork and the patterns and the designs and just art in general. The fact that that is what brings magic about in this world. When Shirahama is bringing magic into our world by drawing this beautiful series, it's so beautiful the way that this is kind of just that, but like kind of materialized in a manga form. This is literal magic. This is literal art, and I cannot tell you just how much I am obsessed with the art style, the gorgeous, beautiful illustrations. Like, it just oozes magic, you know? It just feels like such a old school classic fantasy, beautiful, amazing, show-stopping, never been done kind of illustration style. And I do think Shirahama is up there with Kentaro Miura for me personally, who illustrated Berserk and wrote Berserk, the mangaka of Berserk. I absolutely freaking love his art style. It's absolutely gorgeous. And this is like up there with that for me personally. Just 100% stunning. But in this, we do follow Coco, and she isn't a witch, but this is a world where magic does exist, and people have to be like born witches. At least that's what everyone is told. So being introduced to Coco is just so lovely because we see how much she loves magic, the way that she is enamored by people casting magic. And when she was a young girl, she bought this little picture book of magic from this weird looking witch, which I must say, like, the designs of some of the people are incredible. I love the whole mask thing that's on her face, but I love the fact that we have this backstory already where, yeah, Coco is obsessed with magic. She really wants to be a witch. She wants to possess magic and be the kind of person who can bring that beauty and life to the world. But it's kind of heartbreaking to see her heartbreak when she realizes that she can't and will probably never be a witch. You have to be born that way. And it's weird that I'm thinking of Lady Gaga again. It's like, how much Lady Gaga is in this? So one day we meet Master Quifrey. I'm not 100% sure of character pronunciations. I don't know if anyone really knows yet because, you know, again, the anime isn't out or anything. So I think it's Master Quifrey, and I love his design. I love his look. He looks very, like, well, he looks quite young still. He looks quite young, but like very versed in magic and knowing his craft. Because that's what this is. Like, magic is craft. It's not just something where you can just wave a wand and make things happen. It's like such a precise art, and I love the moment between Quifrey and Coco when Coco is doing the stuff for her mother with like the cutting the fabric and stuff like that, and Master Quifrey even comments like there's such precision to her craft and like how that is the real magic. And I just love how it just juxtaposes so beautifully with actual drawing and art and making stories like this happen. It just ends up making this world feel even that much more believable. So when Coco is, you know, spying on Master Quifrey, which, you know, naughty, she was told to do one thing and she doesn't do it, which, you know, I love. I do love, like, the fact that Coco instantly kind of disobeys the person who asked her to, like, don't let anyone in, don't let anyone see. You know, she was given a specific instruction and she just completely ignores it. Like, it's great. Like, she is such a good protagonist so far. Now that she also has a goal on top of that, but I'll get that in a second. I keep jumping ahead. Like, my review style is most likely going to be a little bit all over the place, so I do apologise. But I love when she's looking at Master Quifri doing the magic and she sees it, and it's also like this very mysterious and beautiful depiction of magic being cast, and she finds out that, yeah, magic is drawn, magic is art, magic is something tangible that you can actually do yourself. But obviously, like, people can't know that, because if everyone can just do magic, then it would be a bad thing, which we do get a little bit more of a little bit later on, which is kind of fascinating. Like, in the smoke behind Quifri and how amazing that looks, I just feel the magic. I feel the magic so much. It's very intriguing, the fact that Coco did end up getting this magic spell book from the witch from years ago, and that she also gave her like the magic wand, but it was like a pen on the other side. So you would think that it was just like some kind of prop thing. It was some kind of scam in order to just get people's money. But actually, it turns out like the ink seems to be magic, and the spell book is very sought after, because Quifri, like, totally forgot this from when I first read it too. Oh god, I hope I'm not sweating too much. I hope you can't see that. Oh my god, I should have worn a different top. Why? Like, how did she get that? And like, why did they give her that? What? You know, a lot of questions. There's a lot of mystery already. And I love how it's like not very like thrown at you kind of questions. It's more like these subtle questions that you get every now and then, like, oh, actually, yeah, like, why did she get that? Who did sell her that? And, you know, stuff like that is just so fascinating to me. Even Quifri says, to sell something pertaining to magic to a child who knows nothing of the art? No, Charlie, it's not. What? What is it? Like, please tell me. Like, tell me everything. I need to know now. And so Quifri goes back to Coco and her mum. And this is where I totally forgot this happened. But when Coco's mum, I think she's like turned to stone or some kind of thing that was a consequence of Coco's spell casting. She wasn't sure what she was casting. She was just going willy-nilly. And I was like, oh my god, like, calm down a little bit, Coco. Calm down. I mean, to be fair though, I would do the same thing. If I had a magic spell book and I knew that I could draw it and it would come real, then I would absolutely do what Coco was doing. Ain't nothing gonna stop me from casting a spell. If I find out that witches exist, you bet your ass I'm gonna become one of them. So this is why Coco is living my dream. She's living my fantasy. Oh, I need to be Coco. But it does give her a goal, because when magic is exposed in that way, then their memories do need to be erased. But Quifri needs to know more about the spellbook, and the only person who can really give him that information is Coco. So now he has a little bit of a dilemma. He's like, okay, this human, this normal person, now needs to become my apprentice and study the craft. Like, what a lucky cow. I mean, I say that. Obviously, it's sad about her mum. It's very sad. But let me tell you, in so many fantasy series, so many fantasy books, you do not want, like, especially middle grade, like a lot of middle grade books, you don't want the parents around. You don't want the adult characters to sort of like drag the main character from going on their adventures and pursuing their dreams, which is kind of maybe like a little bit of a bad thing to like imply, that, you know, you need your parents out of the way in order for you to achieve your dreams. Like, that's a terrible thing, and I don't think that's what Witch Hat Atelier is doing. But I do love the fact that now Coco can, guilt-free, really. I mean, she still feels guilty because she did the thing, but she never wanted to leave her mum. She never wanted to abandon her mum. She gave her a promise, and now she kind of has to in order to save her life. So I love that. It gives her the motivation, and it doesn't make her look like a bad person for leaving her mum. I mean, yes, makes her look bad for doing that in the first place, but we can forgive. We can forgive because she didn't know what she was doing, okay? This is why it's very important for her to learn her craft and to get better and become a better witch. Like, this is now the investment in the series. This is the plot. This is what we tune in for. Tune in for? This is what we read it for. And she needs to identify this book that she had. You could identify the book if you saw it again, yes. Could you point out which page you drew from? There is so much importance to this book, and I'm dying to know what it is. Like, why? Why is it that important? In the fact that the first chapter ends with Coco, from now on, you will be a witch. In this really incredible scene or sequence where Quifri has like lifted her up in the air, like he's flying through the air, through the clouds, where like your imagination can't even take you sometimes. It's like, it's just perfectly fantastical, and it just sets you off on this sense of this grand adventure on the horizon. We're up in the sky, we're up in the air, where humans can't go unless we're in an aeroplane. But like, you know what I mean? It's like, this is just like the scope in the scale of the imagination of the series. And I feel like even then, it's like not even the ceiling of it. We can go higher. There's so much potential and intrigue and magic there. And why can't I live in that atelier? I didn't even know what an atelier was before the series, like, but I think it's like some kind of house or place or something, and we see Quifrey's atelier, and it looks so cozy and beautiful. This is another thing, Witch Hat Atelier feels a bit cozy. However, after reading the entire first volume a few years ago, I don't think it completely stays cozy, but right now, seeing the beautiful hills and the beautiful lush look of this place, you know, it just feels so cozy and so nice, and the atmosphere is just absolutely, it's just gorgeous. I have no words to convey the magic where, you know, they can get the particles from the air, the water particles from the air, and have this like kind of water handbag thing, and you can still pour the water out. Stuff like that I eat up. I eat it up. I mean, or I drink it up. I will drink all of that up because it feels magical. We meet a few of the characters who I think are going to be other main characters along with Coco, who are also like apprentices to Quifrey. So there is, again, my pronunciation is going to be terrible, Tessia? I don't know. But she's lovely. I love the fact that she kept saying thank you. Like, oh, thanks for thanking me. Like, thank you. Oh, this is going to go on forever. You know what I mean? Like, she seems like a lovely person. Somebody who I think Coco might, you know, become like such best friends with. And then we have Riche. She also seems pretty cool, and that's how we find out from her that there's a rumour about Coco going around. The outsider who drew forbidden spells, the one allowed to become an apprentice, memory intact. And I'm like, how in the world did this rumour come about? Because when we end chapter 1, it's Quifrey taking Coco away straight to the atelier. So like how from, you know, the moment of that happening with Coco casting the spell to her arriving at Quifrey's atelier, how did that happen? How has it reached them? I don't understand that completely. I'm going to ignore it because I want this to be perfect and I love it so much. There might be an explanation to it, I don't know. But no, seeing this atelier, seeing the other apprentices just gives you so much hope for like some kind of, I don't know, like I'm hoping for some kind of friendship that's like so meaningful and so amazing that it overcomes everything. There's like so much love within friendship too, and that they're going to work so well together and it's going to be so great. Like that's what I'm really hoping for with the new cast of characters we've just met. Before we meet one character who I think is going to maybe cause some problems, but also, I don't know, I will talk about that in a second. But when we see the window way, it connects to its analogues other windows of the same design. And so like the possibilities with that are endless too. You can see a totally different place. Like there was a place with this big lake with the Tower of Tomes, like a vault of knowledge. And Coco's like, what? There was no lake in sight before, it was just hills. Like what? Like it's such an incredible invention. I love that so much. Again, opens up so many possibilities. It could take you anywhere. And also just like find out more about spells and the forbidden magic and stuff like that. It's like this world is already feeling so rich and vibrant, and we're two chapters in, and it's feeling so incredibly vibrant. There is so much to learn. Like I could take an entire history book on this world right now, make it 1,572 pages. I would read it cover to cover. I'm getting a little bit of like Ni no Kuni vibes meets like Owl House vibes a little bit. Plus this just being like totally original and unique and beautiful in its own way. I love learning about like the librarians who protect the Tower of Tomes. Like why can't I get a job there? I want a job in this world. That's what I want. Only witches who overcome the trial are permitted inside. In order to enter the tower, first you will have to study. So there's just so many things that will open up to you once you start like studying and learning about the world and learning magic. Like I can see the whole map of this area, almost like a video game. Like there's a whole map sprawled out, open world, 1,000,000 miles long, and there are so many different sections to it and places that you can go in. If you just learn more magic, you can unlock more areas and stuff like that. You know, I just love it. Okay, so I want to learn more about the forbidden spells, but also the good spells too. Know that those spells which are not forbidden are all means to bring happiness to people. And again, the gorgeousness of that panel, just seeing like the potential beauty of what you can do with your power. I love stuff like that, I really do. And again, before we meet the final like character in this section, Quifrey I'm a little bit unsure about. I'm not gonna lie, like there is something there that wasn't there before. But like there is a panel where there's like some shadow on his face and you don't know what he's really talking about. So he seems to be making a call. Your approval of the girl's apprenticeship is deeply appreciated. No progress yet on the book. She's still disoriented, but things appear quite promising. Who is he talking to? And again, like is this like his His master is this like a boss, somebody who is so invested in the book that Coco had at the start. Are they good guys? Are they bad guys? Like, what's going on there? Especially since that panel where Quiffy's face is kind of covered in shadow makes him look a little bit like a villain. It does a little bit. And I feel like this is kind of series where shading and colour and illustration is indicative of like certain plot elements or like narrative choices. I feel like this is going to have it all, and I need to pay attention to all of those details in order to fully understand character motivations, plot progression, all of that stuff. So yeah, we finally meet Agot, who is Coco's roommate, and I love the fact that they are butting heads already. The fact that Agot is like, I've been doing this for years, like the ink stains on my fingers show how proud I am of my craft, like you will not get in the way kind of thing. And I love that, but also I feel like she will be a good motivator for Coco. Like, it's nice to have some nice characters around you who are like, yay Coco, you can do this. But to have somebody who is opposing you can make you want it that much more to prove them wrong. And that feels like what Agot is kind of like to Coco right now. Although Agot does kind of cross the line already. Especially when she's talking about Coco's mother. And when she says an ignorant outsider like you simply doesn't have what it takes. I'm like, Agot, you better get out of my face. But also low-key respect. Because, you know, it takes guts to be that honest with someone from the beginning before even giving them a chance, really. But yeah, that whole scene with Agot and Coco, I do feel like Agot is going to end up being one of Coco's biggest cheerleaders. Like, this is my prediction. She's going to end up being one of the biggest supporters of Coco once she sees Coco proving herself, and she's going to push her to be the best that she can be. That is what I think is going to happen between them. I don't know. But as you can tell from my glowing review, I freaking love Witch Hat Atelier. And that was the first arc reviewed. I do want to try and start doing Witch Hat Atelier Wednesdays on my manga channel. So if you want more Witch Hat Atelier, then please do subscribe. Please do like this video if you enjoyed it as well. And leave all your comments down below as well to tell me what you thought of the very first arc of Witch Hat Atelier.